Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Anjani Parkinson. So I'm gonna start preparing my materials for my physical education and play assignment, which is a game that we have to create made from recycled materials. I'm gonna cut these bottles in half, and the cap the pupils are gonna use the cap as throwing. As they are gonna toss it, I'm gonna label all these cut containers with different points. For example, I'm gonna label this one 5, 10, 15, 20. So what they're gonna have to do, they're gonna use the caps now. That's just a little brief of my game. They're gonna use the caps and they're gonna toss it inside of the bottle, and they're gonna be two teams, and the team with the most points are gonna win. So let's start get cutting. Yes, so I had to change the blade. It was a bit dull. So cut the first one with me. This is much harder than it looks. Great. So this is our first container, and I'm gonna get cardboards. I'm gonna label them, and this is what the containers are gonna look like. So basically they are gonna toss from a distance. I chose this size of container because in my opinion the bigger container, it gives them more space to win. It's not about giving them space, but for me it's about it. The smaller the container, the more focused they will be. They're gonna focus, they're gonna get their aim correct just to get into the container. So that's my reason of choosing this size container. I use the small soda bottles. Great, so I'm finished with my cutting of my bottles. Here they are, and I just put the caps inside. So the caps are gonna be our uh, toss throwing. That's we're gonna use to throw a toss, right? So here we are. I have eight containers. That's good enough. This is my piece cardboard. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna cut it in little squares so that I could label the bottles, the containers. All right. So let me do that. So I finished cutting my 8 pieces to label my container. However, looking at it here, I'm not too satisfied. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna add some paint to it so it's gonna look more, more eye-catching, more presentable for the pupils. So let me paint this. So I finished painting them and I wrote the numbers on them. I counted in 5. So 5, 10. I finished pasting here. I almost forgot I had to show you. So this is what I'm looking for. See, I painted it in white and I wrote the numeral in blue. So this is what it's gonna look like. Alright, so whichever container their cap goes into, this is gonna be the point. So I wrote from 5 to 40. The paint is still a little wet, so I'm gonna let it dry, then I'm gonna put it like this. So I finished pasting the numbers on the cup, and what I've realized is that the container is very light. I tried tossing some of the caps inside of it and it tips over. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take newspaper. I already folded. So I'm gonna take a half of a newspaper and I'm gonna fold it and I'm gonna stick it in here at the base of the container, right? So in that way it's stiffer and it wouldn't tip over when they throw the cap. So for my starting line, in which I will let the pupils line up, I have some newspaper here. Of course, we're using everything recycled. So I'm gonna fold it. Then I'm gonna paste the end. And this here is going to be our starting line. See this? So I'm gonna do another one like this, and I'm gonna join it. I have to paste the end here, I'm gonna join it, and this is gonna be our starting line for the pixels.